Hello guys, welcome back to Programming Knowledge Hub. I am Vishal. In this lecture, we will discuss about the namespaces in C#. A namespace is a keyword in C# which holds the set of related classes and objects. A namespace can be thought of as a scope for the classes and objects that it contains. The global namespace is the root namespace in C#. For example, global : system refers to the system namespace of the .NET framework. You can think of the namespace as the container which holds all the objects that it contains. Now let's understand the syntax of the namespace. To create a namespace, you have to write the keyword namespace followed by the name of the namespace that you want to give. Then you can write all of your code inside that namespace. For example, here the customer is the name of the namespace. That namespace contains a public class called firstCustomer, which contains the public method called show, and that method simply prints that this is firstCustomer on the console. Now let's switch to Visual Studio. Here I have created a simple console application. As you can see, the name of this namespace is namespace demo, so as the name of the application. Whenever you create a new console application, by default the name of the project or the name of the application and the name of the namespace will be the same. Here inside this namespace we have a class called program, which contains a static void main method, which is a starting or entry point of any application. Here let's create another public class called public class customer. Inside that let's write a public method console.writeLine. So as you can see, these two classes are inside the same namespace called namespace demo. So this namespace demo namespace is a container for these two classes. Now let's create another namespace called MySpace, which will contain a public class called student, which in turn will contain a public method called display. Let's print a statement on the console. This is student. Now let's say you want to access this display method of the student class from my namespace into this main method of the namespace demo. So how can you do that? There are two ways to access this display method. First, using the dot operator with fully qualified name like this, where student equals new, the name of the namespace, which is MySpace dot name of the class. So you created the object of the student class. Now let's access this method student dot display. Let's save this program and start the program without debugging. Nice, it printed this is student. That means we are able to access the display method from our main method. Now what is another way? There is another way. Instead of specifying this fully qualified name, we can use the using statement, just like we have used here using system. So we will use the using keyword and followed by name of the namespace that we want to access. So name is MySpace. Now you can see this gray this MySpace has become a gray, which says the qualifier is redundant. That means we do not need it. So just remove the namespace and it will still work. Let's save this program and run again. Perfect, it works. It prints this is student on the console. Now what do you think will happen if the two classes in two different namespaces have the same name? Will application give an error? No, because the namespaces are independent of each other. That means even if the class name is same in both the namespaces, they will not conflict with each other. Let's understand how. Here the name of our class is student. I will copy this name and will change the name of this customer class to student, and let's see what happens. Here it gave an error. So what's happening? Actually the C# compiler referring the student class from the current namespace, and it is giving an error because this student class does not contain the method called display. This display method is defined in the student class from MySpace namespace, and in these scenarios where the class names are same in both the namespaces, and if you want to access the class or the method from the other namespace, then we have to provide the fully qualified name of the namespace like myspace.student. Then the error is gone, and now we can access the display method from MySpace namespace. So we have seen that we can declare the class with the same name in two different namespaces. We have also seen that we can access the class from the other namespace either by using the dot operator or using the using keyword. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get the notification whenever I upload new video.